The economy, as you can see, is a house of cards. It is based on debt, and when the debt begins to default, the entire system crumbles. This is already beginning to show itself in the home market. Foreclosures are increasing and prices are beginning to fall. This is only the start. The world's most important economy is collapsing. It doesn't appear that circumstances are about to improve very soon. Recall the astute investor who foresaw the downfall of the property market in 2008. Follow us as we talk about Michael Burry's professional insights. But before that, make sure you click the subscription button and enable the notification bell if you haven't already. Share, like, and comment. Burry invited his investors to join him in a sizable wager against the housing market in 2005. And while it took decades for all his prophecies to come true, they finally did. He gave himself a sizable personal profit of $100 million and kept his investors happy and wealthy with a profit of $700 million. Michael Burry's Scion Asset Management real returns increased by more than 480% from the turn of the century to 2008. The founder of Scion Asset Management asked, in a since-deleted tweet, "What technique can take us out of the true downturn? What drives might draw us? Thus, there aren't any. We therefore anticipate a lengthy multi-year downturn." According to the investor fund The Big Short, the Federal Reserve and the United States government do not appear to have many viable options for stimulating growth. During the pandemic, he had charged at officials who filed the economy with cash, driving inflation, and cautioned that if this happened, future growth promotion efforts might become more difficult and expensive, particularly if they result in price increase. Burry has been advocating for recession for a while. He said in June that due to growing costs and interest rates, Americans are lending more and saving less, and that they will most likely exhaust their savings by Christmas. The founder of Scion Asset Management also highlighted in his most recent Twitter post that some experts are anticipating a moderate, temporary downturn instead of catastrophic extended one. These trends represent a threat to consumer expenditure, corporate profits, and the global economy. The extended economic crisis may have been avoided, which has the hedge fund manager furious. There are 6 million unemployed people, with a 3.7% rate remaining constant. Teenagers are the most relocated group, as one might anticipate given that they have the least employment experience. Men are somewhat more likely than women to be jobless, and the number of those who lost their jobs permanently increased by 127,000 in November to 1.4 million. There are still 803,000 workers who have been temporarily laid off, and things aren't getting better. In November, there were still 1.2 million people who had been without work for 27 weeks or longer. The long-term unemployed made up to 20.6% of all unemployed people as of this point. The recession alarm has been sounded by Michael Burry. There is a caution that the U.S. economy will undoubtedly continue to shrink for a number of years, and there is no solution to stop it. The U.S. government released data in April showing that sales of brand new single-family homes fell by nearly 17% month over month to 591,000. This fell far short of the typical prediction of 750,000 units. According to the government figures, an industry that was strong for 2 years has cooled off due to high expenses and steep increase in mortgage rates. Burry has previously issued similar recession-related warnings. In another tweet, he stated, "I have maintained all year that the next recession will probably not be short and mild." An investor in Big Short issued a warning in May about an impending consumer slowdown and new profit problems. He stated in April that the Federal Reserve has no aim of combating inflation, and that the Fed's all about reloading the monetary bazooka. Elon Musk, the CEO of Tesla and the head of Twitter, also issued a warning this week about a catastrophic recession to ensure that it can contribute to the recovery and finance the fiscal puts. He encouraged the Federal Reserve to promptly lower interest rates, and on December 6, 2022, Dr. Burry tweeted that the Fed was massively increasing the profitability of a major recession. If you doubt the worth of his trust, remember that Michael Burry rose to prominence after his $1 billion bet on the mid-2000s housing boom was immortalized in the book and film The Big Short. He is renowned for having invested in GameStop before it rose to fame as a stock meme, including placing bets against Cathie Wood's Art Innovation Fund and Elon Musk's Tesla last year. Investor in The Big Short, Michael Burry outlines 5 stocks he purchased last quarter after reducing his portfolio to one holding before offering grave signals regarding market bubbles and pressures. Now, his stock holdings in the United States have increased from 1 to 6, and the worth of his portfolio has increased from $3 million to nearly $41 billion. At the end of September, the investor of The Big Short fame increased his ownership holding in Geo Group, which finances private jails and mental health facilities, to slightly over 2 million shares valued at $15.5 million. The stock hit new 52-week high at the end of November, which the hedge fund manager has exploited. The Cyan Asset Management chief also established smaller stakes in Aerojet Rocketdyne, Charter Communications, Cora Civic, a direct rival, and Liberty Latin America, in addition to a $10 million investment in Curate Commerce. Burry's overall U.S. stock portfolio increased in size from barely $3.3 million towards the end of June to $41.3 million. Despite this, it is only a small portion of what it was at the end of March, when it contained 11 equities worth of total of $165 million, including negative set options that Cyan owned against 206,000 Apple stocks. We should be prepared for current financial hardships and dollar changes. In times of unrest like these, the dollar, the world's flat currency, frequently increases, primarily because investors believe it to be more stable and safe overall. The dollar has increased significantly in recent months as inflation has skyrocketed. Interest rates rise as a result, and concerns about overgrowth have gotten worse. A strong economy can attract massive amounts of foreign cash, as stated by Max Gochman, Chief Investment Officer of an asset management firm. One of the few ways an American can reap the benefits of a strong dollar is by going on vacation. It would enable the country to maintain its position as a significant consumer driving force that supports the growth of global economies. Despite the fact that a significant amount of money borrowed for consumption, it is detonation. As a result, other nations can export goods to the U.S. and maintain the expansion of their own economies. The dollar's worth, on the other hand, falls as price rises, since it loses buying power as the price of necessities increase. Inflation is the term used to describe the rise in prices for goods and services over a certain period of time. However, a common economy typically emerges from a downturn with the help of tight reined-in inflation, which also boosts employment. At least, we are not able to declare what we are currently depressed. When debt is restructured and austerity measures are implemented, a depression results. You must take action if you have too much debt to pay. If you want to take action but are in too much debt to pay, you only have a few options. You can either transfer the debt or you can redistribute income from wealthy to the poor in a socialist manner. Another choice is to mix the debt restructuring with austerity measures. Reorganizing your debt means taking steps to lessen it until it is now just what you can manage to pay back. 156 years ago, a market joke in England led to the establishment of the current style central bank, paving the way for the Fed and our complete reliance on every foolish word of its chairman. Michael Burry tweeted on Tuesday, December 6 of 2022, "The focus has always been protecting against falls." Do you agree with Michael Burry's analysis of the economy? Thanks for watching. We hope you learned some things about the 2008 recession and how it could be worse than what's coming our way. If you want to keep up with more contents like these, make sure to subscribe in our channel.